I'm gonna do some Roblox studio building, and I think this is going to be a new gameplay of stuff that we're gonna be doing with Roblox Studio. We're just gonna be going and building stuff. That's basically it. Maybe building games. Although I'm horrible at building games, so that until I know how to properly script, that's pretty much not even going to be a possibility. So, okay. Logged in is this account. Hold on. Okay. We're on back on my normal account. So let's go and start a new model. Today we're gonna do trying to see if we can do some Churchill remodeling. Because instead of anybody who plays World of Tanks or anything really similar to World of Tanks may know the Churchill 7 or the Black Prince. Has 152 millimeters, or is it 170 on the front hull? I can't remember. Probably 170 something millimeters at the front of the hull and 152 millimeters at the front of the turret. So, the Black Prince is extremely bouncy if you know how to use it. So we're gonna go and see if we can recreate the Churchill 7 or 8 or I don't even know. Let's just build. Okay. This should be locked. Whatever. So we're gonna start out with, instead of completely flat armor, we're gonna do sloped armor. So, I mean, it's gonna be a lot like the King Tiger, if any. Tier 8 German super heavy tank, or heavy tank. And, we're just gonna make this freakishly deadly. Turret is going to be basically the same as, well, a normal Churchill. It's completely flat, unless you have the Churchill 1, which I just barely got earlier today on my Xbox. Horrible tank when it's stock. Just absolute junk. Well, of course, we basically lost the game in my first game of the Churchill. I was trying to go up the hill, but before I could even go up the hill, we had basically already lost. I mean, tanks were already coming to outflank, and just, it's horrible. And of course, I was completely stock, so I mean, there was really nothing I could do to help, and I got one kill, and that was, if I'm correct, the M5 Stuart that I killed with my stock 2-pounder Mark 10 gun. Horrible. It's like 60 millimeters of maximum penetration. I did damage to the to a T1 heavy. I was just getting loads of ricochets until, of course, big guns were already firing at me, which were, you know, KV1s and the T1 heavy, which surprisingly still was bouncing a lot on me. it was just lol. We lost the game. Due to me because I was the last one standing. So yeah, it's just garbage. Tank itself was horrible. See if I'm correct. This is about as long as a Churchill 7. Who knows or who even cares? So, first you're gonna have these flat surfaces here, here, and slightly here. Now, if you're gonna find really anything flat on this Churchill, probably the driver's hatch, which I don't know, maybe this side or here. Oh, by the way, if you say I was trying to recreate the Excelsior, if you want to know where the ammo rack is, I'll just put to it simply. It's right here. Right here. I have something similar to Tank Inspector on my iPod. It shows hit zones of tanks and got it for $1. It shows you pros and cons, or good and the bad, basically. So yeah. So I mean, about the only weakness this model will have is this part, and possibly this part. And of course, like all the Churchill tanks, except, and of course, if you want to include the Black Prince, then of course that thing has 152 millimeters of side armor, I believe. Yeah, that's too low. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna go and copy and then paste this, so I don't have to go and waste all my time just trying to go make a model that looks exactly like it. So, just to save everybody's time, I just copied and pasted. Okay. Now that that's done, now we just have to go and make the tracks and the track covers. I don't even feel like I'm just not gonna make the tracks because there's little wheels on the thing. Not worth it. Okay, let's go and extend these spaced armor. You know, this is actually fairly good, even though although it's more than likely going to blow off your tracks if you do this. If you angle, say, like this, someone shoots this, it's going to blow off both your tracks, but it's going to hit both of them and you won't take any damage. So that's really good, although it does track you and you can be outflanked. Okay. Okay, that's good. Now it's going to see what detail we're going to go and put on the frontal hull. Now, I'm probably just going to put... Where in the world... Oh, I don't know where it went. Econ, for some reason. Okay. I'll probably just put it here. Okay, let's go and smoothen the bricks out so it doesn't look like a bunch of Tetris bricks. Now, typically on this account, I make tank chassis and vehicle chassis for a living, basically, on this. Even though I don't get any money when someone takes the model, but I just have a blast making them. Have a good imagination. None of them I make are even real. So actually, there's like 2 of them that are real. And the rest of them, no, not so real. They could have been real, but Most of them are German vehicles, like overly overpowered German vehicles, like Germany did in World War II. Like extremely overpowered tanks, such as the King Tiger or Tiger II. Now, this thing does have a low glacis, but just very hard to hit. And I think I'm probably going to make anything below this plate a weak spot. Mostly because, well, anything above this would basically just be bounce. Because, face it, it's 150 millimeters of probably angled and sloped armor. This is slightly thicker than a King Tiger's frontal armor. 152 millimeters, 150 millimeters on a King Tiger. An utter troll. Okay, now it's time for the turret. Okay. Oh goodness, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay, I came back as soon as possible, and like I was saying, I'm probably just gonna make anywhere down here weak spot. So, back on the turret thing. Probably, I don't know. Maybe I'll just try to go make it so there's a bunch of angles at the turret, so it's like it's really hard to penetrate or something. I don't know. Dang it! No, that's not what I want. Okay. I need to extend this. Now I need to go and make a big turret. Big turret. Okay. Is that balanced? I don't think so. Maybe. I can't tell, and I'm probably not gonna go and waste any time trying to figure out if that's even properly angled. And I'm going to use a special set. And all credit goes to someone named... His name is either Sam Wardle 1 or it's Crazy Jack 42 or 1. It's probably Crazy Jack 41, but yeah, one of those people made this and it proves pretty good. So, I've used it once and and just made an incredibly overpowered vehicle, and I'll show it right to you right now. Look at that. 4 freakish turrets. All of these are 47mm Mark II anti-tank or 45mm Mark II anti-tank guns, or basically made in Russia. Then 75mm derp gun used on a BDRG when maybe, I don't know. So yeah, big tank, sloped armor. And you always rely on sloped armor. It's just overpowered. You know what they say, sloped armor is always better than flat, so that was one problem that the Germans had with their vehicles. Most of their vehicles they made had flat armor. Until, of course, it came to the Panther, which basically was invincible to any frontal attack. Unless, of course, there was a Sherman shooting at him in point-blank range, so. Yeah. Dang. Where'd that even go? Weird. I don't know if I'll use this set. I might. I think I'm gonna use, once I ungroup this, I think I'll use one of these 2 pieces for the gun mantlet, and I don't know about any other part of the tank. Might add some slopes at the turret, maybe not. Okay, well, let's proceed with the gun mantlet. Copy, paste, because I might use one later. Actually make the gun mantlet, sloped. By the way, feel free to send me scripts, especially tank scripts if you know any. So yeah, let's go and definitely make that gun mantlet smaller. That's better. I'm probably not gonna use any more of those models. Reason the models. Now time for this. Angled side. This is another thing that that's recently also seen on the Churchill tanks. They have weak gun mantlets. Like, that's basically what their main weak spots are, is their gun. Wait, I think I might. I don't think I'll use that as a gun mantlet. Oh goodness. I just use this. Just to save also time, I'm just gonna make basic model basically. Okay, so now that we're done with the turret, well, almost done with the turret, just gotta go and add whatever this thing is supposed to ever be. You always find that on some of the Churchill tanks and the Panzer tanks. You always find this, or something that looks similar like this, at the back of their turrets. Don't know why that's ever back there. It's just, I don't know. Okay, now time to make it look smoother. This kind of actually is looking like a. This starting to look kind of like a one of those Churchill tanks, just with sloped frontal armor. Now it's time to add the actual gun mantlet, which will be this thing. And it's gonna be fairly small on the vehicle, so yeah, no, didn't want it rotated. Wanted it to do this. By the way, all the Churchill tanks apparently have horrid gun elevations, or at least the Churchill 1 did. Okay, now time to add the gun. Dang. I screw up on that for some reason. Yeah, by the way, I saw the 1998 Godzilla movie last night, and I don't know what people are saying about why it's so bad, but and besides it being that it has almost no relations to Godzilla, but I mean, other than that, I really don't understand why everybody has made such a fuss why the movie just is. I just don't get it. Anybody in the comments, just if you know why everybody hates the movie, then you should probably just explain it, because I don't know what's wrong with the movie and why everybody hates it. So yeah, that'll be something that I'll probably learn if somebody goes and puts that in the comments. Okay, time to go and recolor the gun. Or, sorry, the turret ring. Let's make that sandish color. Just make this a desert camo. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's make this the same color. Make this looks kind of Britishy already, so. Okay, now to recolor the gun. Red. That actually looks good. No, okay, that's horrible, because that doesn't look. Nah, it doesn't. It looks too much like the gun. give this more of a spice. Yeah, that works. It works. It's not the best thing. I think this actually looks good. Stupid mouse. Ah. The other thing I need to go and do is just recolor this, and voila. I just need to go and add a couple more things, like, you know. And of course, to save everybody time again, we're just gonna do this. Even though it might not look too, but of course you won't ever be seeing the inside of this tank, so I mean it won't matter. Okay, and finally for the last finishing touches, actually, dang it. Let's not make it that killer because that looks horrible. Now time to go and smoothen it out, and I'll probably do some last minute improvements, and then that'll be it for the video. Oh, I completely forgot about the driver's hatch. Let's just make it this color, and brick. And then we're gonna add a little window thingy. There we go. There we go. Now that looks nice. I think this Churchill tank was made out pretty good, except no, screw this. I don't want it to look like a glitch when somebody gets this thing. So, okay. So, yeah, I can't forget about the British emblem. Dang it. Yeah. There we go. Now for the British emblem, or detail, whatever you want to call it. That's not British. Don't know where you got that from. And they have little stuff. Flag. No, I'm just gonna do allied wait, no, that's okay. Yeah, this sucks. It's just stupid. I don't know, maybe I'll just make it look cool and just add this or something. Wow, that does look cool. And of course it also doesn't fit the vehicle, but of course I'm sure it's fine, so. Delete all this so it's not. Okay, now time to go and group this all in. And let's call this Churchill. I don't know, Churchill Mark 6, I guess. And not to save anyone else's time, I'm just gonna go and finish up the video. And I guess I'll see you next time when I do the next recording. Bye, YouTube.